Culture Matters podcast. Today, we're in 30 Days of Thought. My book has fallen apart from reading and writing and speaking, listening over the years. Before I share the excerpt and our topic, here's a quote just for this podcast. I am not afraid. I was born for this. Joan of Arc. Today, we are celebrating a birthday. And our guest will be here in spirit, unforeseen circumstances, but it's actually perfect for the excerpt. Happy birthday on page 221 of 30 Days of Thought. If you don't have or have not heard of 30 Days of Thought, its purpose is to inspire reflection, development, self-understanding, and how one accomplishes these things through the process of 30 days of thought. Is it for 30 days? We read a thought. So today's happy birthday. Write our thoughts inside of the book. And we don't forget to film our video. So if you're not watching this on YouTube, here's my video. With the purpose to reflect, to think, to question, and ultimately engage, execute on leadership, business, whatever topic at hand comes to mind. Each of the thoughts in the book have their own journey or their own lesson. And there's a cumulative story unfolding through the process of 30 days of thought. But to actually do this for 30 days is not an easy task. As the writer, it's been harder as the reader than the writer. Interesting. And I always learn something about myself and the world going through this process. It sparks curiosities and insights and ideas and thoughts to read other books and pursue or remember or recollect authors I had forgotten and the piles of books all around the house. Today, we're celebrating the birthday of one of our regular guests, Demetri Stakias. He's been on the show, episode 810, 1007, 1018. He's participated in 30 Days of Thought and Friends series on the show and a tribute series we did with about a dozen people for the late Charlie Kirk. Demetri has a podcast, the Relief Podcast, and he's released dozens of episodes. I've been a guest on the show multiple times. And today, I'm reminded of birthdays. I have my notes. I prepared, if you listen to the Culture Matters podcast, our core value, our one of our core values, preparation. Prepared some notes, having read the excerpt. Happy birthday. So I want to read it again and wish a happy birthday to Demetri and think through what was I thinking when I was writing this? There was many years where I didn't celebrate my birthday, and now I don't have a choice. And what a gift. I don't have a choice. Other people have a say in that. And what's the fruit from that? I think many blessings. Here's happy birthday, a socially acceptable reoccurrence of time and an observation of matter filled with dreams for those moments past. This is the birthday of old. So there's a question here. It's the birthday of old. Okay. A time inspired for those who have just begun life journey. This is the birthday of young, of the young. To look back on a year of happenings poses an important perspective shift. Is the glass half full or glass half empty? I'm adding notes here so to ride along with me. Do we need the labels of material observation, such as age, to define our life's value onto others? Would such a thing as defining one's constructed time on this earth be of value in the grand scheme of things? How can we propel ourselves further without holding ourselves back when we limit our abilities due to something unreal, untrue, and only upheld through ignorance? Our age. I dare demand this to stop. The material observation and enslavement by an unconscious axiom holds truth to timeless, but not due to cause that timeliness. Right? So the material observation and enslavement by an unconscious axiom holds truth to timeliness, but not due to causality. This is not due to our age, but our efforts. Making notes as I'm reading that, you know, that's it's important to share this is like how this book, which is really a meditative process, is used, leveraged by the reader. What is the author not saying? As Michael Lasso taught us on the Culture Matters podcast, the music is made in the space between the notes. I believe it's the Mozart statement. The space between the notes. Oh. What is not being said here? The causality of choice, the urge of exploration, the wisdom due to curiosity, and the grit developed through action, not by length of time, involved in the game of life. Happy birthday to you, the reader. For as you digest this blurb of tumultuous and thoughtful provocation, you stand to differ from the masses. You are now potentially aware of these unknown ignorances of the ridiculousness of my enemy, and now yours. Age, the celebration of nothing more than a clock ticking and a noise beating in our eardrum, is nothing of value. No man or woman has done unto others any greater due to a number we choose to define ourselves. The men, women, and children that have devastated the world and dug up the diamonds within themselves did so without second thought, without questioning such things as age, and did so without hesitation. These overmen were tried, true and riddled with thoughts of complexity, too abstract for a number to define. A number we call age. What is 20? What is 30? What is 80? Ignorance itself. Lies in the lies we tell ourselves, agreeable to the social construction called age. For a moment of wisdom, we need not label our genius. But to the contrary, we will stand tall by our virtues and execute on them with our word and with our actions. Hear me, age is just a number. A birthday is a mere revelation of possibility, and we should be celebrating what occurs every day, that of utter brilliance called life. With a glass half full and genius interpretation of reality, we are all conquerors of ourselves, and our birthday is every day. With that, my friends, my enemies, and collaborators, celebrate your life right now by being a force for good, for truth, and that of wisdom. Think about it. Happy birthday, and to you. Happy birthday today, and to you. Happy birthday today, and to you. Happy birthday. And your life is today. Your future is today. Your your birth today is the day that you have before you to master, to act. It's a reminder, a reflection, is emphasis to act. Thought, words, and actions we're talking about. And at the time, all those years ago, writing this, I remember being in the thrust of, I remember being in the thrust of the building credibility around the term company culture and the obstacles that come when, with age, the youth is underestimated and the old, the youth can be as underestimated as the old, and the old is underestimated as the youth. I've met so many entrepreneurs that have doubted themselves. Am I past my prime? Am I still relevant? Is what the old, no matter how successful they've been. And so much of the youth, am I qualified? Or am I good enough? Or, or I am, I can, yet the young face resistance. I think Schopenhauer said the truth passes in three phases. First, it's resisted, then it's ridiculed, and then it's accepted as being self-evident. That, yeah, all truths pass in three stages. First they're violently opposed, then they're ridiculed, and then they're accepted as true, as self-evident, something to that effect. The thought remains. A new idea is going to come against friction. And so in the very beginning, so there's a few lessons here. And the idea, like in that Zoroastrian sense, good words, good thoughts, good deeds. Um, we need good words, thoughts, and deeds. And how we think about age could be hindering us, whether we're biologically old or biologically young. Yeah, I don't want to throw the baby out with bathwater here. Of course, there is relevance to age, and it's more than just the social. I'm emphasizing the sociality and the psychology that responds to that sociality of age. Yet it does signify or correlate to things that are important to think about. For example, as bodies, as the longer one has been on the planet, correlates to uh, innumerable uh, variables to pay attention to as it relates to the body. So less brain cells, um, less everything. Bigger ears, bigger noses. I guess certain things grow for human beings. I'm not as learned as Darwin on biology, but common sense will tell us that age has relevance. Let's not be delusional. Yet the message here is emphasizing the importance of how we view what we do, how we view ourselves, and are we over, are we being overemphasizing age at the detriment of our potential of trying, of making effort? For let's say those that may feel too old to start. How many great entrepreneurs started their business after age 50? That's a question to ask. How many started later? How many entrepreneurs started young and became very successful? Alexander inherited his father's military at 20 or so. How many founders left school young? Shoot, you know, Richard Foreman was a teenager when he, I believe, started his businesses. Just one to come to mind. I can think of other mentors that I know as well who started in their early 20s and 50 years later, unbelievably successful. And some, and then, but yeah, and there'll be resistance in the lack of experience. As Schopenhauer said, intellect is about intensity, not extensity. You could have the depth, but yet lack still benefit from gathering content. Um, According to Kauffman Foundation, 26% of new entrepreneurs in 2015 were in the 55 to 64 age range. Another survey by Paychex found that 3 of 10 entrepreneurs were over 50, up from 20% in 2007. So that's increased by 50%. Holy moly, it's growing. 1 out of 4 to 1 out of 3, and entrepreneurs start, in their 50s. So this first sentence, it's really, do we need the labels of material observation, like this emphasis on matter, age, such as age to define our life's value unto others? Of course not. Is it relevant? Yeah, for good health, for signaling back and forth to one another. Are we, what's our overall psychological makeup? You got a 90-year-old acting like a 14-year-old that may not work long term as a game playing with others. Maybe one would need to enjoy their solitude, or a 14-year-old, acting like a 90-year-old. There could be long-term consequences for that. But the overall message that, this dichotomy I want to end with, because there's more here, but we can go on. But in the beginning, a socially acceptable reoccurrence of time and observation of matter, filled with dreams for those moments past. Yeah, so the moments past, that's the birthday of old. Let's not let that be moments of regret that lead to angst, anxiety, that undermine a new plan and a new start. We don't want regret to lead to anxiety, to lead to procrastination, to lead to more anxiety and regret. We want reflection. Soren Kierkegaard, life can only be understood backwards but must be lived forwards. Reflection to draw wisdom into a new plan. What's the new goal? Where are we going? Where am I going? Why there? What's the plan? How? And what am I giving up? Because when I give something up, I'm going to get something in return. And that is the lesson here, the values, and create value for myself, for the world. And let's not let age, whether old or young or in the middle, limit the potential that we can create. In closing, happy birthday, right? Every day is a day of birth for you. Today is a new day, and it's the birth. Carpe diem, seize the day. It's the birth of today. It's the birth. It's the starting point of your future. And reflect on that so that your words will have a positive power and your actions will reflect a conscious thought and thoughtfulness of open and curative, creative, collaborative um, concepts and frameworks of how to live your life. Every day is our birthday. Now, at the time I remember writing this, I was a bit resentful. A bit is an understatement. So working through that and not celebrating our birthday, like the day that represents the first day of birth, I don't think is the answer psychologically. It's like an over extension. And then, emphasizing that every day is the day of birth. It can be a both and. The ritual is important. It's important. It's a day of reflection. It's a day of recognition. It's a day where other people look at us and see us and give us their love and attention and intention. And there's so much value for us because we don't have to do this life alone. And maybe that's a helpful reminder for you. So if it's your birthday and you're listening to this, you may benefit from calling someone or having that cake and participating in that ritual and that party and letting yourself be recognized by the people in your life that care about you. So today we will celebrate our friend on the Culture Matters podcast, Demetri. Happy birthday. And we will see you next time. Please share this with a friend. Pick up 30 Days of Thought and read, write, listen, and speak. Oh, and I should ask, leave us a review. That's how we grow the podcast. Review. And I hope it's the best review because you enjoy the show. Please leave us a review. The Culture Matters podcast, so we can get more episodes out.